3,000 years of legal tradition are preserved in these archives. But this system is not a relic of mysticism. It operates as a vibrant engine of rational inquiry, governed entirely by strict earthly jurisprudence. The authority backing this massive framework of law does not rely on empirical magic or sudden supernatural interventions. The historical record does describe massive physics-defying events: the sea splitting to allow a nation to escape, bread raining from the sky in a barren desert. Those events solved immediate operational problems. The people needed an escape route, and they needed caloric sustenance. But as tools of legal proof, those miracles carried zero weight. Jurisdictional authority derives from a single event: the legislative assembly at Mount Sinai. At Sinai, an entire nation numbering in the millions simultaneously experienced the transmission of the law. This collaborative, collective witnessing formed an unbreakable, objective constitutional baseline. That creates a severe legal bottleneck. If the baseline is set by an entire nation, how can any single individual arriving centuries later claim the authority to speak for the divine? Many belief systems accept a lone individual performing supernatural miracles as sufficient proof that God has appointed them as a messenger. Under this constitutional framework, we only recognize a prophet because a specific written statutory clause, ratified by the nation at Sinai, explicitly commands the courts to listen to one. The physical text of the scroll itself is the sole guarantor of any prophet's legitimacy. If that written clause did not exist, an individual's claim to divine communication would hold absolutely zero legal standing in a courtroom, no matter how much empirical power they demonstrated. A prophet's jurisdiction does not descend from heaven. It is granted strictly by the earthly constitution they operate under. To protect this framework from internal sabotage, the system relies on an ultimate systemic safeguard. Consider an extreme hypothetical scenario. An individual arrives claiming to be a new prophet. To prove it, they perform undeniable, world-altering miracles on demand. Imagine they use this power to make a colossal monument, like the Statue of Liberty, completely disappear simply to prove their divine connection. Having secured the public's awe, this prophet then declares that God has sent them to permanently add, subtract, or alter a single existing law in the legal code. The court's verdict is immediate and uncompromising. The individual is classified as a false prophet and subjected to capital punishment. Why does undeniable empirical proof of divine backing carry absolutely zero legal weight in this earthly Supreme Court? This diagram illustrates the system's structural logic. A top-down model fails because contradicting the earthly constitution attacks the exact statutory node granting the prophet authority. Destroying the constitutional law automatically voids their jurisdiction. By attempting to rewrite the code, their legal standing evaporates. This relies on a foundational legal doctrine known as Bashamayim Hi. It is not in heaven. Through the Sinai covenant, all legislative and interpretive authority was permanently transferred to earthly courts. This carries a strict theological consequence. God himself is legally bound by the Constitution. The divine possesses no jurisdiction to circumvent the Supreme Court to reinterpret the law. The legal system is completely insulated from ongoing divine revelation. Supernatural miracles cannot rewrite objective statutes. In a society ruled entirely by objective, unyielding law, what exactly is a prophet's mandate? We establish an absolute negative constraint. Prophets possess zero authority to legislate, to establish religious doctrine, or to reinterpret existing statutes. Their primary affirmative role is administrative. They act as constitutional compliance officers. Their duty is to guide, warn, and motivate the nation to uphold the existing, unchangeable law derived by earthly scholars. They also serve a secondary executive function, acting as strategic advisors to the state. They provide divine intelligence strictly on optional matters where the legal code is entirely neutral. A prophet might advise the state on the economic viability of infrastructure investments, like where to drill for natural gas, or the tactical timing of a military campaign. These were practical, geographic decisions executed on the ground to ensure physical survival of the nation. Prophets are not authors of the law. They are executive agents aiding the state's physical security and enforcing legal compliance. There is one high-stakes exception to this absolute rule of legal permanence. It operates under a complex executive doctrine called Hora'at Sha'ah, or temporary suspension. Under strict constraints, A verified prophet may issue a temporary suspension of a specific law to address a critical national emergency. There is a single explicit limitation. This emergency executive power can never be invoked to authorize idolatry or pagan worship. A historical empirical case study demonstrates this protocol in action during Elijah's battle against paganism. The location for this unprecedented legal event was Mount Carmel. Elijah offered a sacrifice outside the rigidly designated parameters of Jerusalem. By all standard metrics, this was a heavily penalized illegal action. Elijah did not repeal the geographic law. He invoked an emergency executive measure strictly authorized by the Constitution to combat the immediate threat of false prophets. Once the event concluded, the temporary override expired, and the original legal path remained perfectly intact. If any other citizen attempted this identical action without a verified emergency mandate, they would be subject to immediate prosecution. A verified prophet can temporarily suspend the law, specifically in order to save it. This built-in executive clause cements the absolute permanence, resilience, and objective transparency of earthly law.